serve him is a must. He's the Alpha, the first. This is DJ Nicholas on the show. When you hear the trumpet or the flute, know it's a battle. Time to put your vehicle in a drive, make it to travel. Like me hear it, you want to use your put it on tackle. When the war so easy on me body.
Good afternoon. You're tuned in to Love 101. The program is The Mailbox. I'm Pastor Courtney Morrison. My co-host will be joining us shortly. But today, being the 22nd of October, 2025, today would have naturally been my mother's 84th birthday. Unfortunately, she passed off 8 years ago. But indeed, let us talk about the program for today. The Mailbox has been doing this for the past 13 years right here on Love 101 FM. And today's program is entitled Soft Skills as a Man. Soft Skills as a Man. And so we want to tell you that in the modern workplace, soft skills are increasingly recognized as essential for success. They encompass a range of abilities that enable men to interact effectively with others and perform successfully in various settings. Here are some key soft skills that every man, and I say every you man, every me man, every she man, every we man, but we're talking to males. Here are some soft skills that every man should master. 1, emotional regulation. That is the ability to handle emotions without becoming destructive or impulsive is a sign of maturity and respect in both personal and professional relationships. So that's point number 1, emotional regulation. 2, active listening. Understanding what is being said and responding with care is a skill that stands out in professional settings. 3, boundary setting. Knowing how to communicate your limits clearly and calmly is crucial for trust and respect in any relationship. Just want you to know that the Mailbox is held every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. here on Love 101, the family station, with myself, Courtney Morrison, and Kevin Bailey, who will join us shortly. So let's continue. Number 4, conflict resolution. The ability to navigate tensions and lead without arrogance is a valuable skill in both personal and professional life. Empathy. Number 5, being able to understand and share the feelings of others is a key component of effective communication and collaboration. 6, time management. Prioritizing tasks and managing time effectively is essential for productivity and achieving goals. Number 7, public speaking. The ability to present ideas clearly and effectively is a skill that can enhance one professional's presence. Adaptability is number 8. The ability to adjust to new situations and challenges is a valuable skill in a rapidly changing world. 8 soft skills that will indeed help us to progress, especially as men. And that is what we want to talk about today. This is the program designed for men with guests who are men, hosted by men. And it's aired every Wednesday, unless it's a public holiday, at 5:30 p.m. right here on Love 101, the family station. It is the Mailbox. So before we repeat it, I am Courtney Morrison. And to all our listeners, thank you for making it love. Thank you for being here with us. We know you could have been elsewhere. For those listening in by their radios, in their vehicles, at home, those on the World Wide Web, those on YouTube, and also on TikTok, along with Facebook, thank you for joining us. So soft skills are essential for personal and professional growth, and they are not limited to any particular agenda. Some valuable soft skills that men can develop include, and I just named them: emotional intelligence, active listening, conflict resolution, and communication. Today, we'll be having a conversation with our special guest, Dr. Howard Harvey. He's a career development officer at Heart NSTA Leap Center. And as he shares about developing soft skills that men can employ to become more effective communicators, collaborators, and leaders in their personal and professional lives. So he's here to give us some key components into ensuring that our soft skills as men become effective. I want to give just hard skills, but soft skills. So let me welcome our guest, Dr. Howard Harvey. Let me tell you a bit more about him before we go further. There's a handsome man, if you can see him on YouTube or Facebook. So let me tell you a bit about who he is. Dr. Howard Harvey's professional education started at the University of the West Indies offsite campus, pursuing early childhood education and child psychology. He went on to complete his Bachelor of Science in Career Development at the Vocational Training Development Institute, that's VTDI, and later a Master of Art degree in teaching at the Michael University. He majored in social science, aiming to take his education to the highest level. He later achieved his doctorate in educational leadership from Temple University in the USA. Dr. Harvey has been at the Heart Trust NSTA Leap Center for over 26 years, where he has been providing both career and psychological guidance to both youths and adults. An adjunct lecturer at many universities, Dr. Harvey miraculously still finds the time to coach basketball. I guess he's a 6-footer. Present at numerous educational seminars, workshops, and motivational talks across the island. He's an advocate for positive psychology in the areas of mental health, leadership, and behavioral modification. Dr. Howard Harvey, it's our pleasure to have you today. Thank you for taking time out for being with us. Welcome to the mailbox.
Thank you for having me, sir. Courtney Morrison. What a renowned introduction there with a level of passion. I can feel it.
Oh my goodness. Sir,
thank you.
You're reading something like this. It can't be expressed any other way. It has to be expressed with how it is written, and that's how it's written. And so, sir, congratulations. Thank you for serving this nation. Thank you for helping our youngsters and adults.
Yes.
Especially in the area of mental health and leadership. We talk a little bit more about the basketball.
Yes.
I want to hear more about that one. So it's good to have you here with us. And it's indeed a blessing. So man, remember, we want to hear from you. We're live on Facebook and YouTube at Love 101 FM Jamaica. Remember, you can leave your comments via WhatsApp line at 876-997-3125. Or you can call our studio lines at 876-968-8327 or 876-968-8328. We're also on TikTok at LOVE 101 FM Jamaica. That's at Love 101 FM Jamaica. So there should be no excuse for you listening in. Ladies, if you have a male friend, an uncle, a cousin, a grandparent, a father, a brother, invite them to come on now. We have Dr. Harvey with us, and it's going to be very educational, empowering, and encouraging. So before we get any deeper though, Dr. Harvey, we have something we entitled the draft. It's the direct response for the featured theme. And we want to find out a little bit about a question that we need for you to just, tip that it'll just be the tip of the iceberg before we get to that part below the surface. Do you think we fully embrace men who exhibit great soft skills, abilities? Let me repeat that question again. Do you think we fully embrace men who exhibit great soft skill abilities? Yes or no? And I want to hear your reason why you say yes or no.
I'm saying no, and my reason is we have a cultural construction about how male should behave, and soft skills was not a part of their early childhood infusion, and as such, our culture continue to perpetuate in non-soft skills from males. The same females who want these soft skills, ironically, who mostly grow our men, don't teach them that, and hence they're expecting them to carry it out. And so our society has been perpetuating this non-soft skills from men. However, there's a breakthrough.
There's a breakthrough, and you just ended abruptly there. I was waiting to hear what the breakthrough was.
Here's the breakthrough. For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son. And that's where it starts from. Most people don't know. That's a soft skill given. He walk on this earth. He pray for the sick. He heal everywhere. He give gifts. He also teach and preach. He show love and affection. He also go in the arms of men who are against him, especially in the synagogue. One great man, he invited, he said, go to your ranch and get it prepared. I'm going to come check you, Zacchaeus. These are some of the things that are called soft skills, and the Lord did it on earth just to show us the basic. So that's my fundamental pivot into soft skills.
Thank you. I just want to touch something. I don't know if you have ever watched the movie many years ago, An Officer and a Gentleman.
Yes, can you handle the truth? Yes.
And not only that, would our drill sergeant would have possessed soft skills, or were there some hard skills that he used to employ to get those men to grow, or did he employ any soft skills?
I think there's I want to answer the question, but I think for many of us, we think we are doing certain things, but we're not. So he thought he was employing some soft skills. But according to how he was raised, which I want to talk about the ACEs, many people are grown, are structured, are converted into operating a particular way, and they think it is soft skills or it is such skills. And so he thought he was doing soft skills, but he wasn't. And so let me explain to you. ACEs are called adverse childhood experience. And the study has shown that over 85% or more of us have more than 4 of these ACEs, which means that if we don't get help with these ACEs, we're going to continue them. For example, the homes that some of us growing up into, boy, shut your mouth, you talk too much.
Yes.
Communication you make a mistake, you get beer beaten. You mash a plate, beer beaten. You don't know no communication, no affection. You don't get no hug. You don't get no kind of affection from mother and father. So these are some of the ACEs. Some of us get physical abuse, sexual abuse, and then we carry these ACEs over, and then perpetuate it in our life, in our relationship. And some of us men don't do very well because of these ACEs that will never get corrected. So one of the positive psychology is, let us stop say something wrong with us and ask what happened. So it's what happened, It is easier to fix what happened than to say what's wrong. Because when you say what's wrong, you condemn it. Yes, what I say. But if you say what happened, we can correct it. So that's the basis I want to start off on it. Yes.
Awesome way to begin the program. We're up on our first break. We're talking to Dr. Howard Harvey. He has spent 26 years so far at the Heart NSTA Leap Center, and he's here with us to share on soft skills communication for men especially. So we're going to take this break. We're going to come right back into this interesting, encouraging, empowering program. So come back.
Hey man, I am a man, I am a man, I am a man, yes.
Something big is coming this Christmas. 2 cities, 2 days.
One unforgettable experience.
Mark your calendars. Saturday, December 13th and
Saturday, December 20, 2025.
The magic of the season is about to hit Jamaica like never before.
Where will it be? Who will be there? Stay tuned.
Because Season Splendor is coming and you don't want to miss it.
Season Splendor. The countdown begins.
Grace is giving shoppers discounts on over 20 of your favorite Grace products when you cash out at participating supermarkets. The time that Grace could move is
5:45.
The NHT will be accepting applications from pensioners for the Smart Energy grants of up to $1.5 million With the NHT Smart Energy Grant, pensioners can install solar panels at home and save on electricity. Applications are being accepted via the NHT website or in person at the NHT branch offices from Friday, October 24 to Wednesday, October 29. For more information on the Smart Energy Grant, visit the NHT website or any NHT branch.
We know you're making every dollar work harder, choosing carefully, buying what you need, and making it stretch as far as you can. That's why Grace is giving shoppers discounts on over 20 of your favorite Grace products when you cash out at participating supermarkets. It's our way of helping you sweeten moments together, share more meals, and take care of the people you love. Make a good move with 20% savings from Grace.
I am a man, yes. Strong man, integrity man. I am a man.
Welcome back to the program, The Mailbox. We are here with Dr. Howard Harvey. He's a career development officer at Hart NSTA Leap Center and has been so for the past 26 years, graduate of the Michael College. If you leave off the, you could be in trouble.
In trouble, yeah.
you ensure you put that there. You know, I love how we have started, Dr. Harvey. The positive psychology is something that I just thoroughly enjoy and believe it has its rightful place, especially in Jamaica, where we do the blame and shame or shame and blame, whichever we want to, and we need to correct that. But before going any further, just want to ask you a little bit about yourself so that the public get to know who you are. How was it for you growing up? You know, Kevin's favorite question is, were you born with a gold spoon in your mouth? How was it for you growing up? Any challenges you faced? Let's
Yes. So I grew up in one of the local inner city community in Jamaica. 7 brothers, 2 sisters. I always estimate the room. It don't seem like it more than a 10 by 10 room where the children would reside in, and the parents have a half of that. So, and we only had 1 double bed. So that's 7 and 2, 9. Wow. And only 4 can go on the bed, and only the privileged get a chance to go on the bed. And the rest of us have to sleep on the floor. Well, I was one of the elder ones, so I get a little privilege. But if I slip up, I gone on the floor.
Yes, you lose your position.
Yes, that's one of the fundamental there at the home. Also, this was one of the things that really affect me deeply, is that we couldn't get regular meals like breakfast, lunch, and dinner like regular people. So when a meal cook at the home, the persons who are present at home, they will share it for everybody, but the persons who are present, what we do it, because the meal is so small, you wait a little bit until, suppose I'm not there, they wait a little bit to see if I would come. And by the time they finish eat, they wait, somebody would eat my meal. So when the pot drop, if you're not there, chances are you won't get the food. So you have to fend for yourself later on. And so these are some of the things. The other thing that affected me really bad as well is that with the 7 brothers, we had 1 pair of black shoes. And I was the most petite one at the time. So the shoes was big of one and then wide width. So if I want the shoes, I had to pad it with cardboard and also newspaper. The sad thing about it that many times you don't get the shoes. So if you have anywhere to go, you either have to hide the shoes or something. And so these are some of the struggles that we grew up in our community. And so I said, no, man, I can't live like this. And then one of the things that complicate the whole thing, I was so angry. So I grew up with my stepfather and my mother. And so my father wasn't around. I couldn't understand why wasn't my real father around. So I would give lots of trouble. Later on when I'm studying, I realized that I had a number of illness like ADHD and opposition and defiance disorder. And it goes back. And so my soft skills was very poor. I had literally no soft skills. And so I would just fight, like literally fight. And I also had a speech impediment where, stuttering is a speech impediment. And it comes from sometimes birth. And so I would fight literally if somebody were to tease me when I'm talking. Anyway, later on in life, I developed, we call it in psychology, compensation of development, where I learned to speak fast so I don't stutter. So these are some of the challenges that I grew up with. And I just want to be special. I want to be good. I want to be great. I want to be awesome. I envision it, but I just couldn't get over it because it was so huge so many of us was in this small container trying to get out. And so that was really a struggle for me. But one day the Lord said to me in my mind, son, you're going to make it. I don't know. I just heard it and I just felt it. And I started working towards it. I just keep doing things.
What age that happened? If you know,
all right,
what
so
age that happened?
I think it was about in my mid-teens.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened is that I break away from school and home because I had to go for it. I had to go hustle. So what is hustling for us is that you go out of the community where there are resources like Uptown and you find ways and means of hustling. And we used to sell things like the cleaner, wipe windscreen. Windscreen was the main thing because we survived on it. We used to, I don't know if you know Windex. We used to buy Windex and throw water in it and spread it and use it with our shamai. Murderers used to like when they say the Windex buckle, you know? So we used to get that kind of custom. And that's where I started building my my self-worth. Because in the community, you have no self-worth. You have to be fighting for everything. It's like in a war zone. I think today they call it crab in a barrel. And literally everybody was just fighting. So soft skills, you couldn't exist with soft skills because you will die, literally. And so that community creates a funny feeling in me to become different. I want more. Like, you know, that movie, not the movie that says, give me more, I want more. And whatever I was getting in the community wasn't enough. And so when I end up on the streets, that's where the breakaways start. And I got engaged in leading boys. So I become a leader, which is what I always wanted to do, but couldn't do it because I was being held by my stepfather as I don't even know what he held me as, but he was very strong and he was very firm and hard on me. And that's where I accumulate it's not hard soft skills, it's hard skills to become a gang leader. Right. And that's right up on the streets.
Whoa, I'm listening to your story. Welcome, Kevin. Welcome, Kevin. I don't know if you got to hear about his story. 9 of them, 7 boys, two girls. And, you know, on the bed could only hold 4. And he left school and everything, went on the road and wiped windscreens. This is Dr. Howard Harvey, walking, living inspiration. And he's here to talk to us about soft skills.
Amazing, Courtney. Thank you so much, Dr. Harvey.
Thank you for having me.
Sure, you end up in gang, in a lifestyle that went the wrong way. Was that's what you mentioned?
Yes, I actually was a leader because in my home, the way my stepfather grew me, it grows all to be leaders. So I actually literally took the lead. And so they followed me and I teach them how to survive, teach them how to fight and all these things. And we were, I never got caught though. The funny thing about it, when the police come at us many times, I never got caught because I think the Lord has a calling on my life. And so he had prevented me from getting into any one of those situations that would slow me down.
What caused the transformation? How did you come to come off that path and leading you to where you are now?
All right. So one day I was wiping in the traffic light adjacent to YMCA and Robbie Court, and I was there wiping. What we do, we actually count the stoplight. There's like a 30 seconds between each light. So once you get in, you try to wipe as many cars as I can. So while I was wiping, she was there talking to me. But she talking. I said, oh, I'm so handsome and I'm good and I'm great and I'm supposed to be here. I can do better in my life. But I was listening, but I wasn't recording it instantly. But I was wiping because my job is to get money. I don't know what she talk about. Anyway, when the light changes, I jump out of the I jump out of the traffic light and jump onto the YMCA fence. Yeah. And I looked over there and I saw some men teaching swimming. So what happened is that what you were saying started replaying. And like somebody said to me, you can do that. I have never, remember that we are on the street, we don't have nothing. I come from an inner city. I just tell myself that I could teach swimming. And at that time, I just walk around the YMCA. In those days, the average street boy, you can't go into the YMCA, it's kind of uptown. And I would bully my way in. Remember, I grew up as a bully, because my stepfather did it in terms of control and rule. And I went, we never stopped until it just eventually allowed us to come in. And I became one of the persons that they taught swimming at the Y, and I started teaching swimming. And that was where I propelled from, because while I was teaching swimming, I was teaching the babies. And I was intrigued about early childhood education And then I started studying. I went back to school, did my CXC. I think I attempted about 3 or 4 times. I don't remember exactly how many. And then later on, the Lord said, let's move. And academic became my friend and my interest. And that was where I started move from.
I hear you talking about the Lord, Dr. Harvey.
Yes.
Tell me, how did you get involved in church? And when all of that was happening, being a gang leader, still say, I'm hearing from the Lord.
All right. So what happens is that the YMCA have this fundamental approach where they have spirituality in it. And so there are some people who usually come from different churches who come and do church service there. And I remember we met Brother Garden and some other team members, and they would come to us. And what they did was, which was very interesting, they actually meet us on the street. And I don't know, like they did a study. And they came, they were so cohesive. They were so customer oriented. They brought meals for us. And while we were so aggressive, I don't know, they found a way to get to us. And they get to me as one of the leaders. And they start telling us about the church and the Bible, and they start having, and then once they get to me, the boys start subsiding, and then they start teaching us about, and then we open up and accepted it. Well, I did it, and decided that I'm going to move forward. And that was the breakthrough, really, for me. And then I was also introduced to church by another young man. And so I start balancing both. And that was, let me tell you, that was a really awesome difference. Because now I am hearing no bad word. So when my stepfather talked to you, as him open my mouth, it's 3 bad words before he say a word. And now I'm hearing somebody saying the Lord love you on the other side. So the soft skills start battling with the hard skills. But the hard skills give me this power and control. And I resisted it for a while. But later on, the Lord just give the breakthrough and the soft skill took over.
Wow, very, very interesting. And, you know, when we come back, we want to talk about this kind of conflicting two forces, almost like a tender warrior, the soft skills and the hard skills. How do we develop that as boys to men? What would you say so that we don't feel like a sissy? We don't feel like a wimp, but at the same time, we're not that aggressive that we can't control ourselves. We're going to take our first break, but we want you to kind of guide us into how do we as boys to men embrace soft skills and break it down a little as to a little boy listening, a teenager, a man, to manage all of that anger, all of that testosterone, and at the same time, not to feel like a girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to start by saying, while I was at the YMCA teaching the swimming, I got jealous and envy.
I think it's best, Doc. I think it's best to wait because of a time signal coming up at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
So let's take your comments after this break. This is our second break, and we'll be right back. This is the Rock. This is the mailbox. So come back.
Yes. Strong man. Integrity man. I am a man.
Yay! Welcome Jamaica. Hello world. I am Jakal Dyer. Wake up early. Have your cup of coffee ready as we start the day right Monday to Friday from 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. in Love in the Morning. Love in the Morning with me, Jakal Dyer, on the family station, Love 101.
Love in the Morning. This Thursday, October 23, on the Truly Marvelous program, To Have and to Hold. We're turning the spotlight on Tanisha and Dylan Beadle, a devoted couple from Mandeville who have journeyed together for 22 beautiful years. As they prepare to celebrate 7 years of marriage this November, their love continues to grow stronger through faith, family, and togetherness. Rooted in faith and fellowship at the Georges Valley Emmanuel Apostolic Church in Mandeville, the Beatles remind us that true love is built on togetherness, prayer, and laughter through every season. Don't miss their inspiring story this Thursday at 5:30 p.m. on the Truly Marvelous program, To Have and to Hold, only on the family station, Love 101.
I'm Itana, and human trafficking is everybody's business. Call 1-888-PROTECT to report suspected cases of child trafficking.
The time by the Ministry of National Security is
6 o'clock.
I am a man, yes. Strong man, integrity man. I am a man.
Welcome back. This is the Mailbox here every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. on your favorite gospel station. Kevin and Quinn in the place of very special guest, Dr. Howard Harvey. And just before our second break, he was ready to share with us, guide us, because boys to bed, we need it. And I think ladies need to learn as well. How do we balance the soft skills with the hard skills so that we end up, maximizing our potential as men? Dr. Harvey, help us.
Right. So while I was at the YMCA, I'm seeing all these different type of people, educators, doctors, driving the big cars, all these things, living all this lavish life. And I was just there. And I got jealous and envy. I wanted to be like them. I wanted what they have. Because that was one of the reasons why I left my community to be on the streets. And one writer says, see the end at the beginning. And that's Louis Morriston. Les Brown says, once your mind is extended with an idea or a concept, it shall never go back. So what happened now is that I've gotten this overview of these people and I noticed their behavior is totally different from mine. So I had to make adjustment. So I said, where are you going, Harvey? I wanted to go wherever my mind set, but you cannot go there with who you are, because what happened to me, which is the aces, is not going to take you there. So you have to lose those aces and try and acquire the soft skills. So now I'm having the church in one ear and I still have my behavior there. And I actually learn to balance it by how I feel, because I said to myself, I want this life, the life that I'm now living in, barefooted, dirt body pants, going to and fro, wiping windscreen. I don't want that no more. So I had to let go of it and see myself in the light. So Les Brown said, see yourself where you want to be and act it out in your mind. So I am seeing these people acting, they behave nice, they walk gently, they don't speak and yaga yaga. So I start emulate them. And slowly my hard skills start dropping off and I pick up some soft skills. But every now and then I would go back to and fro because I was very, very aggressive, And so what happened is that I later learned that if I continue with this aggression, I think I got into a fight. And I was the leader, and my brother, I beat him up, as I would say. And he turned around and broke a bottle, didn't have a glass bottle, and stuck me in the side. And I almost died. And so when I went to the Andrews Hospital, remember I met up on the street, we never know who paid for the Andrews Hospital bill. The doctor said to me, show you how God good. They stitched me up inside out and told me that I almost died, just this small. And I look back at it. And when I came out of the hospital, you would be surprised. I had no anger, no hate for him, It's like a miracle went on. And that day, I didn't share to my parents what happened to me. I just told them that I met in an accident. And from that day, I let go of that aggression and convert into the softer skills. Now, you would call it a Damascus road, but I was on the path because I was making transition. And then later on, I became actively engaged in a number of activities at the YMCA that would pull from my hard skills to convert it into soft skills. And it's hard to explain. It's just a conversion where I would be strong and powerful and boisterous, but I would get position that require that. So they have me teaching where I have to shout, but the shouting comes with empathy, sympathy, teaching, not bad word and derogatory word. And then you have a time now when I would just listen. First time you can't say nothing to me. You don't want to hear nothing because I'm the leader. No, I listen. And then sometimes I won't give any answer. And the Bible talk about sometimes it's better to be silent than to hear. And you know the Bible stuff. And when I start getting this information, I realize that I am battling. And then one day something happened to me. And because I start dress up nice now, somebody affected me. And I say, that person don't know where I come from. And then the Lord said, no, you're not going back. And then in my later reading, I learned that the street boys was relying on me as the leader to lead the path, the community where I was coming from. Because I start dress different now, I start behave different, and they start looking up to me, and I start be a role model. I start collaborate, and I'm converting hard things to soft skills, to encouragement. I am being encouraged, and I'm encouraging them to move up, to go back to school, and the whole thing is so transformational. But there's one key thing I want to talk about is the emotional intelligence, where I became less hurt the least little thing I would be hurt about. I would get irate and emotional and body a boil up. Now I'm more composed because I can pray. I could whisper a word of prayer, or there are things like, if this is the world that man have hope in, man will be most miserable. And I don't want to be miserable, so I'm looking forward to that. So hope is like a queen. Hope is like heaven. So I am looking forward to that newness. And each time when I come upon a situation, I will convert it to the softer skills, but most of it come from the Bible. And also some of what I see around me in the YMCA. So you know what happened now? I spend less time where I was living, because when I go back, I only go back late at night, so I don't see those things anymore. And I just leave out early, so I go back to the realm of goodness and softness until later on I just fully converted. So it's a process where you go through, because even that fight with my brother, I came back still a leader, and they respect me as a leader even though I lost the fight. Now when you lose a fight like that, you don't get back that role. And then I start changing into a more emotional person, a more passionate person. And then I will be the one now parting fights, doing the encouragement, and then they would listen to me. So that's where the transformation. It's really phenomenal, and to God be the glory. Great things he has done, because for a man like me who went to death row by my brother who I beat up and come back, today my brother and I were like, you would never believe it. And one thing that I want to talk about, forgiveness heals. If I had held on to that hurt, I wouldn't. Just think about this. If my two hands are like this holding on to hate, I wouldn't be able to hold a degree when it was given me. I wouldn't be able to hold a pencil to write or type. So I would be holding the hate and preventing my growth. And I wanted to be good. Never know that today it would be like this. I love that question actually, because I get passionate about it, because I want young men to see that the transformation. And for me, yes, I was behaving soft sometimes, but then every now and then, the people that I was around, mostly, it started fit into place. And the boys who were following me, they either fit into place or they walk away until the gang start getting less and less, until automatically everything just come into form.
Dr. Harvey, all sort of thoughts flying through my head right now, to have a street man sort of meeting that you can speak with them and show your own transformation, or you met you at Hope Road and Trafalgar and at Damascus, because that's the intersection right there at YMCA. I'm listening to you, sir, and you know, I'm so encouraged that I'm thinking, okay, you're speaking about the emotional intelligence, you're speaking about the active listening, the empathy, the conflict resolution, the teamwork as a gang leader, and the adaptability, the flexibility that you display, those soft skills. But probably I need your number to try and say how we can arrange some meeting and have a conference with the street boys. Because, you know, I listen to your story and I'm saying, hey, you were a gang leader, you were a street boy. We can do something to help these ones we have on the road, some sort of convention, YMCA as well, and said, this is where it began. I don't know, that's just coming to me. I just had to say it out loud, you know, for us to do it. The self-awareness. You know, Kevin was saying, how do we do all of these without looking like a sissy? Because I think we have by association, we have made some of these things feminine instead of just seeing them as human.
Right,
as I like to say, the issue of skills. And so we have drawn the conclusions that being soft-skilled is being feminine. Help us with that right at the point. I think that's a part of the question that Kevin gave, that I just like to dig a little deeper in to show.
All right, so
if you go by, go ahead.
Yeah, so one of the things about soft skills,
go ahead, Doc.
It's not just soft skills. Soft skills is employability skills. And so a lot of people don't realize that, and I didn't realize it when I was growing up, that soft skills are employability skills. And the definition that I have is soft skills are character traits and interpersonal skills that allow a person to interact effectively with others. In the workplace, soft skills are considered a complement to hard skills, which is the technical skills. otherwise referred to as non-technical skills, or better yet, employability skills, which refer to a person's knowledge and occupational skills. So psychologists may use the term soft skills to describe someone's emotional intelligence quotient, or as opposed to intelligent quotient, IQ. In a competitive labor market, individuals who demonstrate good combination of hard skills and soft skills often enjoy higher demand for their service. A study was done with the Heart Trust, NSTA, and JEFT. I don't remember which year. And it indicated that over 75% of employers, this is sad, would prefer to employ persons with a non-technical skill, which is the soft skill, which is the employability skills, and train them, because they said they found it very difficult to train people who have hard skills but don't have soft skills. That's amazing. And so the soft skills is what would have created or not created in the early childhood. According to Plato in his Republic, he said that a child, if you have two children, a girl and a boy in the home, both gender should do every activity. The girl should wash plate, the boy should wash plate too. The girl should clean the house, the boy should clean the house. In those activities, they say they develop fine motor skills, emotional intelligence, patience, teamwork, collaboration, communication. And these communication don't necessarily go with words, it go with body language, motivational skills built through these things. So for someone to be very good at their profession and personal life, they have to exhibit not just soft skills or employability skills, but these are for life existence. Soft skills also build trust in your individual relationship at home, at work, or at school with your partners. It creates long-lasting engagement. Just look at how we're communicating now, how the engagement is so high in demand. They are also key in life management and communication. Now, lifelong learning also contribute to these kind of soft skills. So soft skills for me is so important that let us stop for a moment and check. If you don't have none of these soft skills, what happened to you? So let me tell you what happened to me. And it's not something wrong, it's just what happened. So whosoever grows in our childhood days, they would have passed on the soft skills or the non-soft skills that they don't have or they have. Yeah. And many of the parents who grows don't have these soft skills. All they gave us was hard skills.
Yes.
Or not even hard skills, but abusive skills. And we continue to perpetuate these skills, not knowing anything else.
Yes.
And some of us will continue in our life if we don't get therapy or help to change, to recognize. Remember, I got that environmental transformation by looking at the YMCA and see these people. And so for all of us, the moment we want change, the moment you see yourself where you want to go, you have to infuse, and perpetuate these soft skills. And so
let me stick up in there as you talk about perpetuation, because indeed it is true. Our society have grown to accept, and we're just talking because Doc has a display on the on YouTube now. So if you want, see them live. But indeed, our society have accepted many of those hard skills as culture and perpetuate them. But we go upon our final break. It is now 40 minutes past 6, so we're going to come back here live on the mailbox. Kevin and Courtney along with Dr. Howard Harvey. We're talking about soft skills. We come right back after these messages as he continues his presentation on soft skills. So come.
Your mama, yes. Strong man, integrity man. I am a man. Hey man, I am a man, yes. Strong man, integrity man. I am a man.
You can see the face, but not the heart. Those who want to do you wrong.
Bless up. This is Christopher Martin. Human trafficking is a crime. Let's unite to end human trafficking. Be wise, open your eyes. Spot them, stop them, and report them.
A message from the Ministry of National Security.
No shadow at the dark. No shadow at the dark.
am a man, I am a man, I am a man, yes. Strong man, integrity man, I am a man.
Welcome back. This is the Mailbox, aired every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. on your favorite gospel station, Love 101 FM. Kevin and Courtney in the place. So very special guest, Dr. Harvey, is here and going through balancing soft skills with hard skills. You want to continue, Dr. Harvey?
Yes. I want to also stop for a moment for us to do a reflection, a self-awareness check. And so if you see yourself as a teacher, which is what I saw myself as, and I'm so aggressive and viragous, and I don't have no patience, no empathy, the classroom, especially at the early childhood level, you can't function there. So I had to do a self-check, and I would look at the criteria that is required for early childhood educator. And then I would look at who I am, where am I going, and how am I going to get there. And then that self-check, I have to get therapy for it. Because some of those things I have been living with for 17, maybe 25, 30, 40, some men carrying these aces for years. And so you need to speak to somebody. You need to, or check yourself. There are tests online that we can do. But when I was a youngster, the first time I get to check myself was Lakem Samaj asked us to write a 20-page document. 20-page document, 2,000 words about yourself. What happened to you in your childhood? And where are you now? What is hurting you? What is causing it to be like this? Because you know, and then you can control that. When I did that, I didn't realize that I did it about in my late 20s, early 30s. If I had shed those aces earlier on, I would be far ahead in my life and my relationship. And then lately now, after I met the Lord, I start infusing those things now with my self-awareness, connecting with the Bible and seeing where I'm going. And then in no workplace at all, according to the World Economic Forum, and this is not just in Jamaica now, if we are unable to have things like flexibility, adaptability, critical thinking skills, that emotional intelligence is what causing most of us men to falter. And let me give you an example. How we can start building our soft skills is start treating our mother, no matter what she did you, very well. Why? Because that's your first home. If you can start treating your mother, that means you'll be forgiving her of all of what she have done, right or wrong, that you didn't accept. And you would make that change. And that's your first healing. People don't understand. And when I do the sessions with people, I said to them, if you can find somebody that hurt you 5, 10, 15, 10, 20 years ago, go back to them and say, I forgive you. You would have healed and you would have forgiven them and move along, and then you'd have let go of that ace that is hindering that soft skills to replace it. And so for me,
Dr. Harvey,
yes,
you know, that's a very big one you're talking about, you know, because coming from where a person probably was physically abused by mom or neglected, rejected, treated all kinds of way, you know, for them to know release mom. And knowing that it's so difficult and you don't feel like doing it, how do you move towards that? And then the other difficult one, suppose mom died. No. What would you advise? Because mom is no longer alive for you to go and say, I forgive you. Any words on that?
All right, so you hit the nail on the head because I have a similar experience. So my mom, I didn't get any help from her. And I think that was one of my love language. That's the next thing. Each individual we have 5 love languages, and each one of us are loved through these different love languages. And we give love and receive love through these languages. Now, many people do not know their love language. So I lately learned that one of my love language was 1, physical contact, which is hug. And my mom didn't give me. You know what the Lord did? He created a scenario where I end up having my mom to take care of her. And all of those physical things, I had to help her wash her hair, help tidy her, doing all these things. And that's where the physical contact, until I eventually start hugging her. And the other day when I went to see her, I said, Mom, hug me. But she didn't know that I reached the place of healing. I could hug her. She barely could hug me because she's still carrying it. So I now forgive her and I can hug her nicely. Now, here's the problem. If the mom die, one of the therapy is that you have to go to the Lord in prayer and leave it there. And knowing genuinely, because you can't go back to her because she's already gone. And we would call it like a symbol replacement, where you'd find somebody insignificant in your life, like a woman, and try and see if you can play or scenario out those act of love, act of kindness that you wanted to. So one of the things that I do with my basketball players is that all of them have to wash their mom's feet at a certain time, which is teaching them to start be humble to the mother, because that's where most of us things go wrong, as we would say, or what happened to us. So if the mom die, I would say first, you have to go to the Lord in prayer, leave it there, and try and demonstrate it through another female that is either close to you or is hurting like she. Because your mom gone, she hurt you, she's hurting. Because the reason why she hurt you, because she was hurted. And so that's how we correct that kind of hurt. And the thing about many men, I don't know about many men, but I know many men are afraid to ask forgiveness from the Lord. He's there and willing to forgive you. Just pour it out and leave it there. And nobody will know that you go and cry to him and beg him for forgiveness. Yes.
Wow. Adverse childhood experiences can really either build, or if we don't get help, just as you got therapy, and here you saw therapy so late in your life, is really inspirational, because persons need to know it's never too late to seek therapy, to seek help, especially us men, eh? And
yes,
it's just encouraging. Doc, 26 years at Heart NST Leap Center. What training facilities, how do you help all those other? Carolyn says, proud VTDI graduate, the awesome Dr. Harvey. So I'm supposing you know who Carolyn is, Doc.
Yes, I know, yes.
But indeed, for churches, for persons who need this help, how can they get in touch with you? How can you help? I'm still suggesting this Street Boys, Street Men convention thing. You know, I'd love for them to hear your story, especially some of them I see right now off the toll road near Seaview Bands. Yeah,
I actually did a program with I went back to the same site where I was, and I worked with the young men there for a couple of years. But what happened though is that there's a new psychology there with those young men. And so I did some work with a couple of them, and then one took on to me and I was helping him financially with his daughter. But the psychology there, and there are a couple of young men that grew up with me that is still on the street or in the same area. But one of the psychology there with the young men that we now have, the whole self thing is different. They're not there to propel themselves from one stage to the next. That's not a stepping stone for them. They see themselves there, and it's like they're building around that space, and so they become institutionalized in the space, protecting the space by doing negative things to others, trying to drive fear into others, not providing any kind of customer service. Because when I was on the street, as I was sharing with them, I used to have my bosses, that's what we call it. So I would come and I would wipe your car today. You say you don't have any money. I say, all right, boss. And you would go away and you will come back again until after a while, you just come and you just say, see your money here. They don't know how to build a customer service because they feel that they're entitled. So we had to create a relationship, customer service there on the streets. And so I tried it with them some time ago, and it didn't work. And then we used the YMCA for them to come over. But we'll move on into a different program because sometimes, but we did try it. And so for me, I am actually doing some work in the churches, because a lot of churches, many Christians, this is amazing because I did the test. Many Christians, especially women, are unable to go to their baby father and forgive him. They're unable to even communicate to they prefer let the child suffer psychologically, emotionally. And so I'm giving them, I've done a series at my church, the ACEs, how it affect Christian walk. I did it at schools, a couple of schools, and I'm working it along the way. And it is very important because a lot of us, I didn't know about these ACEs. I was just going around carrying these weights. Yes. And so now that I've studied it and I'm understanding it, I'm doing it in the churches. So people can contact me at 377-1023. That's my personal number. And my CUG for heart is 433-5222. My email address is Anthony Harvey, MATEDD@yahoo.com.
Dr. Harvey.
Yes.
Dr. Harvey, I think we'd love to continue, have a part of this, because let me tell you, I want you to just share a little bit.
Yes.
Beginning now, how do we manage an emotion which is normal and natural called anger? How do, I know you can just touch it now, but I think it's so important.
Yes.
You know, it's normal, it's natural, but how do we start looking to manage it so that we get the results that we really need? Talk to us a little bit.
Well, anger, all right, everything have a root and everything have a psychological root. And the thing about it is, when I was growing up, I found out why I was angry. I was angry with my father, wasn't there, and I was angry with my stepfather for being so aggressive, and he wasn't my father. So that was the root. So for all of us who go through any adverse childhood experience, we have to find the root. And so what I did, I went searching for my father. And when I found my father, I realized that that's not my father. That's a sperm donor. And then my stepfather, who was so aggressive and thing, that's my father, because for him, he was teaching me, he was guiding me, he gave me shelter, food. When I go to see my father, I hardly see him, he never wants to see me. And so I come to realization that, and that's when I think the turn makes with the anger. I wanted to see him so badly, I couldn't understand. I was going after him when he was trying to dodge me, until one day the Lord says, now that you see him, what is it that you're going to do with him? And so he wasn't any use for me at that age. So I have to come back to my stepfather now and rebuild that relationship. And so I became closer to him. I wasn't angry with what he was doing to me. I look at it as he was training me to become a man. But that's the only way he knows. And for my anger, I temper it under 3 approach. 1, it's going to make me better. 2, I'm not going to use it and abuse others. And 3, I want to use this anger and channel it into things that are profitable to me. And so that's how I did it. I without any training, I just did it. And later on now learn that I can take deep breaths. I know when I feel, I go 1, 2, 3. We have a thing called hurt but don't hurt. The book, The Art of War, that I've read said, never let your enemy know that you're hurt, because it will perpetuate more anger. And I have read books like Think and Grow Rich by a guy named Napoleon Hill. And so I am not angry if somebody even take my money, because that's just money. I have more than that. And some of the things that I read in the Bible, like, this world is not mine. I am homeless on earth. So anything you do to me or take from me is nothing, because I have a better home looking forward to. So these
Dr. Harvey,
Dr.
Harvey, time done, you know. So, say we have to come back at another time. Yes, just want to say thanks so much for coming and sharing the jewels, all of those information, passion, empowering our boys to men. Let me say thank you so much, Dr. Howard Harvey. Really appreciate it. Thanks to Jeremy Johnson, our producer, Nico Angus for technical support. We end the show with this quote: education is not the learning of facts, but the training of the mind to think. Albert Einstein.
Awesome.
Indeed. That's it for our show for this week. Catch you next week, October 29th, 2025 on Wednesday. Same place, same time, inside the mailbox next week, Monday.
Strong Monday.
You're tuned to Family Radio. This is Love 101 FM, broadcasting from Kingston, Jamaica. Thank you so much for choosing us.